In the last video, I showed how to create a Worklight app using the new Worklight command line interface, Worklight CLI. You can download the code from DevOps Services at this repository. You can download the Worklight CLI from Developer Works Getting Started. You can use the link Get Worklight Developer Edition CLI and download the CLI and install it. So we have our app integrated with the Worklight CLI API. We're going to show how to automate your workflow using Xcode and the Worklight CLI. So let's try to run the app. We get an error. It says the request timeout. This means that the app cannot reach the server. The IP address of the server is located in the worklight.plist file. It looks like the value is from a different Wi-Fi network that was previously working at. My Wi-Fi is now a different one and I have a different IP address, so I need to update this file. If I can check my IP address, it's a different one. It's 10.0.1.15. I can automate the process of updating this using a script and using Xcode. So let's add a script. Update wplist.sh. This script sets the variable to the Worklight project directory. It sets another variable to the Worklight plist file that we want to modify. It checks that the file exists. Then it checks if it's running in debug mode, meaning development, for the simulator or the device. If we do, we get the IP address from the current system and we set the port to 10080, which is the default for development. We can also use this script to set for production the Worklight hostname and port. Then we use an utility called plistbody to set the host and port to the Worklight plist file to update that file. Then, to call this script, we go to Targets, Build Phases, hit the plus sign, New Run Script Build Phase. We have to move this script before copy bundle resources. The reason is because we're going to be modifying the Worklight plist file before we want to copy it to the app. We can change the name of this script to update WL host and port. We can copy the contents of the script into this box or call the script from this box. Let's execute the script. Source update WL plist.sh, and let's run the app again. This time the script will run. Oh, we get another error. It says cannot connect to the server. So let's check if the plist file was updated. Plist file has the correct IP address and port, so this means that maybe the server is not running. We can use the command prompt to check if the server is not running with wstatus. In fact, the Worklight server is not running. I can use wstart to start the server, or I can automate it using Xcode and scripts. Let's add a script to do this. Add files, start wserver.sh. Let's check this script. It sets a variable to the Worklight project directory. It sets another variable to the Worklight binary. It checks that the Worklight project directory exists. It checks that we're running in debug mode for the configuration. Then we change to the location of the Worklight project directory. We have to run the command from inside that directory. We run wstatus. We check the return code if it's not 0. If it's not 0, means that the server is not running. We can start the server by running wstart. If the server is already running, we can skip it and exit the script. Then we have to call the script from the build process. So let's add a new run script build phase. This time we can name this to start wserver. We can call the script start wserver.sh. Let's stop the app. Let's run the app again. Okay, this time it looks like it's connecting to the Worklight server and calling the adapter. We can check the build output to see if my scripts are running. So you can see here the script is running to update the worklight.release file, and the second script is checking that to see if the Worklight server is running. If it's not serving, it's starting the server. Now let's work with adapters. Let's say that we want to add an adapter to our app, to our project. We can use the CLI to add an adapter. Let's say we want to get stories from a different RSS feed, like developer works. So we do add adapter. We can call it devworks, HTTP, select defaults, and then we have to build adapter and deploy it. We can check the console to see the adapter. It's the same adapter as the CNN. Then we can change the code to use the different adapter. So instead of use, we can use devworks, save it, rerun the app, and it's connecting. But we want to modify this adapter. Let's use Xcode to change our adapter. Let's add the project so we can edit. Add it by reference, do not copy to target. We can go to project, adapters, and we can see our two adapters. Let's modify the one for devworks. Let's modify the XML file. Instead of CNN, we're going to connect to www.ibm.com. We're only going to get stories and save this. Then we're going to modify the JavaScript. We only need one procedure, get stories, and then the path, we have to point it to the path of our developer works RSS feed. To get the feed, go search on the web for developer works RSS, find the link. The link will take you to the different RSS feeds in developer works. I open the technical library one. This would open the RSS. So this is the path that we want. Let's copy the path into our adapter. Copy this in here. So we have our adapter, get stories, the same procedure. Our host name that we're pointing is www.ibm.com. We want procedure. And then we have to run Worklight build and Worklight deploy to get this adapter reflected back to the Worklight server. We can automate this using scripts. Let's add a script. So this script sets a variable to the Worklight project directory, another variable to the Worklight adapters directory, sets a variable to the Worklight CLI binary. It checks that the Worklight project directory exists. It checks that we're in debug mode. Then we have to move into change directory to the Worklight adapters folder. If we run build and deploy from this directory, it would only be building and deploying adapters. So that would be a faster process than building and deploying all assets. So then we have to run the script from a build process. Let's add run script build phase. We can name this script to build and deploy adapters. Then call the script source build deploy adapters.sh. Then we can run the app. So every time we modify an adapter, then build and deploy will run. So we can be in sync with our app and our adapters. This time we get a different RSS feed. Looks like we have a Worklight Developer Edition news. So to summarize, we did 3 scripts. One was to update the PDS file to the right host name and port, because sometimes we've changed from Wi-Fi networks to different networks and our IP address changes. Then we use a script to check if the server is not running, and if it's not running, go ahead and start it, so we can avoid problems connecting to the server. And the last one, if we're modifying adapters, we can use a script to automate the process of building and deploying. So every time we modify this adapter code, it can be built and deployed, so we're in sync with our backend. So that's the demo. Thank you.